Chiefs tears. But he's just be swinging, bro. He fights exactly like the South African proof. Like, are we ready for an angry Patrick Mahomes next season? Somebody who's gonna be on a revenge tour. Somebody who's gonna make sure he gets to the Super Bowl, and not only does he get to the Super Bowl, he's gonna make sure he wins the Super Bowl. I don't know about you. If I wait 12 years for a moment, I'm getting my moment. Hulle weet nie wat ons weet nie. Dricus Du Plessis handled his business against Sean Strickland. I don't think they got to the Super Bowl by luck. Champion. By the third round there's probably something in them that clicks that says, okay, I see why this person is the champion. Tatiana Suarez attempted 15 takedowns. She got one. Microphone check 1 2 1 2. What's good? Super Bowl 59 is over. One more time. We need gunshots. I need gunshots for this, man. Nah, I'm getting gunshot sounds. Gunshot sound. Nah, I'm playing it here. I'm putting this on. Let's go. Let's see if this works. Thank you. Yeah. Let's do that again. One time for the Kansas City Chiefs. Bang. Thank you. Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, Nick Sirianni. I'm sorry I didn't get your name the last time I recorded. I remember when I was struggling with the Eagles head coach name, Nick Sirianni. Yeah. Wow. Super Bowl 59 is over, and your reigning, defending, newly crowned Super Bowl champions are the Philadelphia Eagles, and I couldn't be happier. However, do not celebrate too early, my brothers. The job is half done. Yeah, we're all happy that there's a new Super Bowl champion. We're all happy that there's finally some competition. Job's not finished. The main goal is to make sure Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs do not go to the Super Bowl for at least another 5 years. Them losing at the Super Bowl is not just enough. Don't you miss a Super Bowl where you at least had some suspense? Don't you miss watching the Super Bowl and wondering, wow, somebody's about to get their first Super Bowl. Some team is about to get their first Super Bowl since 1980-something. The Chiefs had ruined that. The Patriots before them had ruined that. The AFC has been on lock for the past 20 years, bro. And now, finally, someone has beaten Patrick Mahomes. Because I will not lie, Jalen Hurts, we were watching you. You weren't on thin ice, but you were on ice, boy. I'll tell you that. It was so much fun watching Jalen Hurts win his Super Bowl MVP. We should have seen he was going to win with that outfit that he wore at the championship game. Y'all remember that fit he wore to the championship game with the hat and the pants, and then he had the cigar going? There was no way that man was going to lose, and he did not lose. Chiefs tears. Not what? Oh man, it is such a good day. It is so oh my God. God is good. And this is where I see it, because devil magic is a thing. The Chiefs were using it, imported straight from Limpopo. The hottest and most powerful devil music. Ha! Pa! You just lost to the Chiefs. However, let me get serious for a minute. Man, I didn't even... NJ, how you doing, bro? I'm sorry.
Life is ass right now. Life is ass right now. Chelsea is out of the FA Cup.
Chelsea's out of the FA Cup.
We lost to Brighton.
But I heard Brighton United is good.
It doesn't matter. We lost. When have you ever seen me happy when my team loses?
True. Exactly. A loss is a loss.
A loss is a loss.
Just like the Kansas City Chiefs.
At least they were in the final. Thank you. We didn't even get to the final.
Touche.
You know what? Do you know what Chelsea just did?
What?
We just pulled the Ravens. That's what we did.
I'm laughing at all Ravens jokes until the next season starts. I think I've earned that. After the very long regular.
We pulled the Ravens.
After the very long regular season the Ravens gave me, I think I've earned to laugh at every Ravens joke from now until the next season starts. Like, totally. My dude, how are you? Are you fine? Yeah, you can just tell me down there. Mukundi, I'm fine. Mukundi, I'm well. We have new Super Bowl champions. times already, but I'm just so happy, man. I'm just so happy. Oh my God. Oh my God. Can you imagine? Can you imagine how insufferable the Kansas City Chiefs would have been if they three-peated? But, you know how they say there's two sides to every coin? I was thinking about this. And let's celebrate this now. And let's enjoy this moment while it lasts. Because we are all happy that there's somebody, finally, somebody new at the top of the food chain. We're all happy that there's a brand new champion, somebody not named Patrick Mahomes. However, I don't think we're all ready for an angry Patrick Mahomes. Because if you think he's going to take this lying down, and if you think that man is not going to play with a chip on his shoulder next season, because he heard you, and he heard you, and he heard me talking, and he received all that hate, and he took all that hate, and he played probably one of the worst games he's ever played. However, man, he still made plays that made you say, oh, damn, that's Patrick Mahomes. But are we ready for an angry Patrick Mahomes next season? Somebody who's going to be on a revenge tour. Somebody who's going to make sure he gets to the Super Bowl. And not only does he get to the Super Bowl, he's going to make sure he wins the Super Bowl like he did the past 2 years. And he's going to try to dominate the AFC. And he's going to try to dominate the game. And he's going to do his best to make sure that we all remember his name. Because this is doing nothing but adding to the GOAT campaign. Mind you, he has the rest of his career ahead of him. He still has a lot of football. Patrick Mahomes is only 28, 29 years old. He still has a lot of football ahead of him. Tom Brady retired at 45. Aaron Rodgers is 40. Oh, and a side note, I just saw today the Jets are moving on from Aaron Rodgers. So you can officially say the Aaron Rodgers experiment has failed in New York. So, Patrick Mahomes is a bad man, and he's going to make sure we remember that next season. I have a feeling that the Chiefs are going to make some moves. They clearly have to make moves. And let me give them credit for this. As an organization, they knew what they had to do. They started the season and they said, although we're starting the season undefeated, we are going to have to make adjustments. We are going to have to change this team. That's why they made moves for DeAndre Hopkins. That's why they made moves for other receivers, because they could tell that we need to build this team and make sure that by the time the Super Bowl arrives, we are nice. And they were nice. We were so blindsided by the fact that the Kansas City Chiefs are not beating teams in convincing and dominant fashion. We actually forgot we actually couldn't even see and pay attention to what they were doing. And what were they doing? Behind the scenes, they were making all the right necessary moves to make sure they get to this position. I don't think they got to the Super Bowl by luck. You can't. It's impossible. The teams they had to beat, you can't get lucky against those teams. Would you beat the Bills by luck? No, you wouldn't. Wouldn't even try. Would you beat the Houston Texans by luck? No, you wouldn't. Wouldn't even try. The Kansas City Chiefs were that good, and they are that good. And the main mission is to make sure they do not return to the Super Bowl next year. Somebody needs to represent the AFC that's not named Patrick Mahomes. That's the main mission. It's fun now because, yeah, Philadelphia won their ring, and thank you. Congratulations. You saved us from the three-peat. However, the dynasty is still in motion. The dynasty still exists. Just because they didn't win doesn't mean they're not a dynasty. How many times have you been to the finals, and how many times have you controlled your division, your league, and your conference? That's the real question. That's the reason we say the Lakers were a dynasty, right? They may not have won all the championships, but they were at most of the finals. That's the reason we say Golden State are a dynasty. They went to 6 finals in 8 years. That's a dynasty. They may have won 4, but they went to 6 finals in 8 years. That's a generational run. The Chiefs are still in effect. Unlike the other teams, I don't expect the Warriors to make it to the finals anytime soon. Same thing with the Lakers. However, would you be surprised if the Kansas City Chiefs were right back in the Super Bowl next season? No? Exactly. There's a reason for that. And if it keeps going this way, I don't know if that's going to be good for the sport of football because he's going to be the Michael Jordan of the NFL. Unless Lamar Jackson goes to the NFC, he may never win a Super Bowl because of Patrick Mahomes. Unless Josh Allen goes to the NFC, he may never. Joe Burrow, I'm even willing to cut some slack because he's one of the few quarterbacks that have actually managed to beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs. That gives us 3 names now. Tom Brady, Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts. The only 3 quarterbacks to ever beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. But let me tell you how he beat him. So the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Kansas City Chiefs 40-22 in Super Bowl 59 in what was a dominant performance by the Eagles defense. The Chiefs offensive line was nowhere to be seen. This was the 2020 Super Bowl all over again where Patrick Mahomes was running for his life trying to make plays and dudes weren't getting open. And what was happening? The defense was smothering him. If you could give the entire defense Super Bowl MVP, you should have and you would have. That's how dominant they were in this game. But let me tell you what Patrick Mahomes did. 257 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Now, those stats just say, yeah, Patrick Mahomes had a great game. No, he didn't. He played. Man, it wasn't Patrick Mahomes. There was an elite quarterback on the field, but it wasn't Patrick Mahomes. I'm telling you. Travis Kelce was nowhere to be found. Only had 4 receptions this game for 39 yards with 0 touchdowns. Xavier Worthy, he tried. He balled. 157 yards with 2 touchdowns. DeAndre Hopkins had a touchdown, but DeAndre Hopkins also dropped the ball, bro. He dropped the ball. I tried to let it slide, but DeAndre Hopkins, man, the Chiefs got you during the trade window, and you were supposed to make a difference. Sure, you helped them get this far, but you can't be fumbling passes in the Super Bowl, especially since this is your first Super Bowl in your entire career. You've been in the league 12 seasons. I don't know about you. If I wait 12 years for a moment, I'm getting my moment. Not dropping the ball. But you never know what goes on in another man's mind during high-pressure moments. I want to tell you about our champions. Jalen Hurts had the game. Yeah. I said you better have a game where you throw for like 200 yards with a few touchdowns, do your thing, and beat Patrick Mahomes. I'm glad Jalen Hurts listens to ITALKSPORTS. That's exactly what he did. 221 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. And he had some great rushing plays as well. He rushed for 72 yards. If I were to come here and if I were to tell you that Jalen Hurts is going to run more than Saquon Barkley, you'd be like, why? Well, he did. Saquon only rushed for 57 yards. He didn't even have a touchdown. Damn. And I was this close to betting on Saquon rushing for 100. But I was just like, let me keep it. But great game, man. Great game. And of course, bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. We got to watch Kendrick. Kendrick did his thing. What a great Super Bowl halftime show. Say, Drake, it's not looking good for the boy. Okay. I am done with the NFL. And with that, the NFL season will be on Do Not Disturb until October, unfortunately. Which means my Sundays are free now, so yeah, but it's a damn shame. October, dog. October is when the season starts. February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. What am I gonna watch? I love football. Should I start watching soccer?
Start watching real football.
Should I start watching soccer?
Real football.
I might start watching soccer because there's no football now. Okay. UFC 312. We got violent. No DNA. Just RSA. Hulle weet nie wat ons weet nie. Dricus Du Plessis handled his business against Sean Strickland. Broke his nose even. In what I expected to be a great fight, a nail biter, a fight with a great finish, turned out to be a good fight, which is not a nail biter, and it came down to the finish. Dricus handled his business. I will say, till this day, bro. Till this day, I don't understand Dricus. No, well, there's definitely technique to it, I guess. But he's just be swinging, bro. He fights exactly like a South African brute. Like there's you can tell he's from Benoni, Brakpan, Boksburg, Benoni. Like you can tell that he's a brute, bro. He fights like a freak, you know. That's exactly what he does. He just be throwing and going, and it works. And it works. What am I saying? UFC middleweight champion Dricus Du Plessis defended his middleweight title against number 1 contender Sean Strickland in a 5-round decision, which was probably a lot more exciting than I'm playing it out to be. But I didn't enjoy this fight one bit. Why? Because it wasn't different from the first fight. Sean Strickland, I'm very disappointed. Sean Strickland did the exact same thing he did in the first fight and he expected to win. How you going to do it if you didn't win the last time? Your coaches were telling you, we need more activity. Even I could have told you need more activity. You need to do something because DDP is serving hands, eh? DDP is serving hands, and unfortunately, you appear to enjoy the menu. Like, that's all you were doing. You were catching his hands with your face. You're not supposed to do that. That's what blocking is for. That's what defending is for. But no, Strickland just kept going and trying. His defense is impeccable in terms of just defending. But you can't just defend. It's the same chat I had about Ian Machado Gary when he fought Shavkat Rakhmonov a few months ago. I said his defense is very good, but he's as good as Rudy Gobert on the offensive side. And I don't know if Sean Strickland knows this and everybody and Ian Machado knows this, but the whole point of MMA is to inflict damage on your opponent while taking the least amount of damage. You seem to have mastered the part of not taking damage, but we need to see you do something now. We need activity. You can't just be blocking and checking his leg kicks the whole fight. When are you going to keep moving? The most effective form of punishment Sean Strickland had for DDP was his jab, and you're not going to get much done with just a jab. You need to mix it up with them calf kicks, them body kicks, those hooks. Where was that? DDP was doing a great job of that. He'd move to the body, then he'd get his legs, and then he'd get the hook kick. He's a very, very good kicker, I will say. He uses his legs very well in fighting. But even with that, he was using his kicks, he was throwing his hands, he was punching. He was doing everything he needed to do to win this fight because he did say, I don't want it to go to the refs. When I'm done with Sean Strickland in this fight, I want to be done with him and put him to the side and have everyone know that DDP is done with Sean Strickland because he's beaten him twice, and the other time it was in convincing fashion via knockout or stoppage. Didn't do that. However, as opposed to the split decision from the first fight, this was a unanimous decision. Congratulations on DDP. Congratulations to DDP. Now you get to fight Khamzat Chimaev, which is a fight I really, really, really want to watch. DDP versus Khamzat Chimaev is something I will pay real and a lot of money for. Sign me up for that fight. Dana White announced that's the next one because Khamzat Chimaev broke Robert Whittaker's jaw a few months ago, and then that's going to be fun. We shall see how we get to that. However, the real fight I wanted to watch. The real fight I wanted to watch is the GOAT, the strawweight GOAT, Zhang Weili, defending her strawweight title against number 1 contender Tatiana Suarez. Pow pow. Great fight. That was actually a better fight because I was just getting to watch the GOAT do what the GOAT does. In a dominant and convincing performance, Zhang Weili showed us exactly why she's the best strawweight in the world. And in a sense, I kind of enjoy the poetry of this fight because Tatiana was always looked at as the next in line. She was destined for greatness, destined to be a champion. Everybody kept saying this. She came in as the favorite to this fight. The champ came in as an underdog. Let that settle in for a minute. And as the underdog, the champ showed us exactly why she's the champion. I have a feeling that these fighters, whenever they get in the ring with the champion, or in the octagon with the champion, by the 3rd round there's probably something in them that clicks that says, okay, I see why this person is the champion. Because you could see it. Zhang Weili lost the first round. Tatiana did a great job of taking her down in the first round. But that's all she did. She had a great first round. It was all Zhang Weili from the second to the end of the fight. Allow me to give you the stats real quick. Because you wouldn't believe it even if I told you. Total strikes. Zhang Weili threw 299 total strikes, landing 232 of them. Tatiana Suarez threw 95 strikes, landing 63 of them. Zhang Weili made 1 of 3 takedowns. Just 1 of 3. And that was, that takedown, that's just a cocky takedown. Like, yeah, that's just to show you I can, by the way. Yeah, she hit her with 1 of those. Tatiana Suarez attempted 15 takedowns. She got 1. Like AI. Imagine. So Zhang Weili, you're the GOAT. I don't know what else to say, man. At this point, she should just retire at the top. Because I always hated when I watch the champions and the greats get dog walked because they're just getting old. And there's nothing you can do about getting old. So before that happens, she's 35. I think it's time for her to call it a day. So yeah, Zhang Weili is the GOAT. DDP is going to fight Kamzat in what should be a better fight. But don't forget, Patrick Mahomes is not the reigning, defending Super Bowl champion. Those are the Philadelphia Eagles. And shout out to Jalen Hurts for Super Bowl MVP. NJ, you got something for me?
Why was Serena crip walking? That's what I want to know. Why was the GOAT of tennis crip walking?
Because Drake thought it would be fun to mention Serena in one of his diss tracks. And Kendrick was like, oh, all right, Serena, pull up.
That was just evil, man. That was just diabolical. That was really diabolical, especially because Pat Mahomes, the future GOAT, was being dog walked at halftime.
Being dog walked.
And wasn't it 40-0 in halftime?
24-0.
Was it 24-0?
24-0.
24-0.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Kendrick hit game over.
Kendrick came through at game over.
Game over, and Serena crip walked, and then Pat Mahomes lost in emphatic fashion.
But here's the thing, though. The last quarter, he was starting to do Patrick Mahomes things, but too little, too late.
Yeah.
That's how they went from 0 to 24. However, the Eagles put up 20 more points on their head.
if you're in soccer, if you're losing 5-0 in the 75th minute and you score 2 goals, we don't care. You lost.
You lost.
You lost. Right. Who's our next Super Bowl champion from now?
From now,
I got Lamar.
It's only a matter of time. The Bills.
You got the Bills.
I got the Bills.
Was that Josh?
Yeah, Josh Allen.
Nah, I got Lamar.
Nah, I love Lamar, but with the Bills, it's a Celtics situation. It's just a matter of time. Yeah. So yeah, my next Super Bowl champion prediction, Buffalo Bills. Let's talk in a year and see what happens, eh? Yeah, go out there, have fun, kiss your mom, tell your friends nice things, and as always, enjoy the violence.
Charles,
they lost. Get over it.
Nah,
They're gonna keep losing.
Nah,